Okay, punctuation is not the most riveting of subjects, and teacher tells me you've stopped paying attention. So before we go any further, she's going to set you a simple piece of mental arithmetic to see if you really are awake. This has got to be done in your head. Do not use paper and pencil or a calculator, but do try it. Just freeze the video, have a go. Go on. Did you get 5,000? Wrong. The correct answer is 4,100. If you don't believe me, freeze the video, try it again with a calculator. So, stand in the corner and pay attention to the comma. Remember, in an earlier session we looked at the sentence, and to keep things simple I used very short sentences. Now, there is nothing wrong with short sentences, but too many of them can sound like machine gun fire, so we often want to join them up. Which brings us to our first rule about the comma. Never ever use a comma to join sentences. This, for example, is wrong. I went into town, I did lots of shopping. Those are two sentences, and I can't just glue them together with a comma. Now, the easiest way to join two sentences is to use a bridging word. It's called a conjunction. Do you remember them? And, but, or, yet, for, nor, so, and so on. Let's try it out. I went into town and I did lots of shopping. It worked. The comma is just a pause, and just as the full stop signals a real pause at the end of a sentence, the comma signals a slight pause during the sentence. Remember, most punctuation marks were developed to help actors read their script out loud. In fact, if you're a natural reader, that's the easiest way to know where to put commas. Simply read out loud as though speaking to a child. In the examples I'm about to give you, I'm going to do just that. Speak as though to a child. But if you're not a natural reader, these three rules will help you. 1. Use it in between items in a list, like this. 3 things you should always take to Rome on summer vacation are sun cream, comma, sensible shoes, comma, and light clothing. Let me do that again with big pauses, and you'll see how right it sounds. And again, I'm going to speak as though to a very young person. 3 things you should always take to Rome on a summer vacation are sun cream, sensible shoes, and light clothing. By the way, the punctuation Nazis will tell you not to use the last comma just before the and. Ignore them. Rule number 2, to tack words to the beginning or to the end of your sentence. Let me give you an example. Again, big pauses. Essentially, writing is a solitary pastime. The government will be announcing a reduction in taxes. Apparently. The comma tells your reader that the sentence really begins or it ends after the comma. Rule number 3. 2 commas are used to sandwich something that has been inserted into a sentence, something that's less important than the rest of the sentence. So again, it's going to be easier to give you an example. The dog, who is now 4 years old, is incredibly friendly. Now, the main idea that's being conveyed is about a friendly dog. The bit about his age is just an interjection, something inserted into the sentence. But notice how whichever rule, just by reading it out loud as though to a child, makes it obvious where to put the commas. You're falling asleep. Time for a smack from teacher.